You turn them over and you try to do their arm, it's harder to do because they're holding it, and you know, most people do guard their arm. So when they're like this, it's almost like it forces them to be okay with, you know, arm work. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna get in here, and this way I can get into the deltoid, and here I can get into the teres muscles. Just kind of strip it a little bit. And then I'm going to go down the arm to the forearm, stretch out the fingers. Okay, then I'm going to put a little bit more lotion, and I'm going to work on the tricep and the bicep a little bit. So I'm just going to go under here.
This is a massage.
Mm-hmm. There. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his arm in anatomical position, and I'm going to strip between the bones. What did you call this again?
Interosseous membrane.
Thank you. The intia, what she said. And then you can also do some pressure points. Stretch the fingers out a little bit, and then you're going to turn over the thing. Make sure the arm, not the thing. Okay, and then I'm going to strip down around the flexor muscles. That's why his hand is moving. That's tight. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and get in here. A lot of people's forearms are a mess from all the computer work and everything. And I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to work in his hand, especially around the thumb joint. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some in the carpal bones, just do some pressure. And then I'm going to go ahead and do some compressions on the arm.
Thank you.
And then right at the wrist. And then I'm going to go ahead and put his arm right here. Some people can't do this. So what you want to do, actually Mariella taught me this one. You can have them do this and then put some, you know, just go ahead and hoist it up like that. Me, I don't do it like that unless, you know, the person can't do their arm like that. I'm going to go ahead and secure his shoulder, and I'm going to do pressure points in here. Sometimes, you know, if it's really super tight, I'll have the person breathe. So they'll inhale while I'm out, and then they'll exhale deeply, and then I can go in even deeper. Yeah, you better inhale right here. And exhale. Okay. Inhale right here. And exhale. Good. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting the shoulder up while I'm pressing down, but I'm not going to try and get as deep as I did, you know, down, you know, lower to the anterior angle. Or wait, no, inferior angle, sorry. Okay. Then I'm just going to go ahead and strip here. But sometimes it's just easier to go ahead and open up the shoulder like this. Just stretch out the rhomboids. How's that feel?
Good.
Okay, and then I'm going to put this down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just, you know, smooth it out. Do a little effleurage on that shoulder. So now you can see the difference between the two shoulders. Right?
Yep.
And even this is kind of lower now because, you know, it was raised, like the other side is just a little bit raised, but that's where, and his neck looks longer on this side than that side.
Go. Pimp booty move.
Pimp booty move is usually done under a sheet. Okay, so we never really expose the booty. And most men don't want their booty exposed. So just saying, women don't care if it's another woman. So, you know, and usually if it's an hour, like I said, I don't use lotion. So there is no need to like expose the booty.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. This is pimp booty move. We're gonna go ahead and stretch it out right here. And for a deep tissue, I'll go ahead and do a pin and stretch from the middle back into the booty. You let me know if it's too much booty for you. There. And then I'll go ahead and stretch it like this.
Feel that?
Yeah, this is, I love this.
Yeah, she got pimp booty
I
move.
I have all kinds of hip issues. This helps.
And so I'm gonna stretch it out again right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna stretch out his calf, just, you know, a little bit. Ooh, okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and do some rotations. And then I'm gonna put my hand right here at the thigh and I'm gonna bring his leg out. Now, some people, you're gonna have to anchor their foot because, you know, it will go up and down as you work.
Right.
So now I'm gonna address the lower back again. I'm just gonna go ahead, do some pressure. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get right here into the ilium. Well, this is actually, I'm sorry, the QL, all the way to the side. Okay, and while the leg is like this, I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna stretch it again. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go around the greater trochanter. So I'm gonna go right here, all the way to the TFL2. All the way around. And so the idea is to get the junk out of here. There. And then I'm going to go ahead, and this is right around where the piriformis is. I'm going to stretch that out away from the sacrum. Then I'm going to go around the greater trochanter again. This is a real tight spot right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do some more work right there. Do a little bit right here. This is by, do you say gemellus or gemellus muscle? I mean,
Gemellus.
yeah, so the gemellus minor and major. Okay, then after that, this is what we call booty bread. So you clasp your hands together, and then you start at the top of the gluteus medius, and then you squeeze it together. Everybody loves booty bread. I don't know. I've never had booty bread done, so how's that feel?
Nobody did booty bread to you?
Nobody's ever done booty bread to me. I've been booty breadless.
What? I find that
Okay, and then we're gonna go
I'm
down.
gonna have to have a talk with Zaya and Yuki over here, and I have this on tape. Uh-oh.
So now we're gonna go ahead and simultaneously go down the hamstrings and the quads. And then you can go ahead and use your fists and your palms. And if you go ahead and do circles, you can do the fascia release that way too. Now, if if their IT band is really, really tight, then I just kind of squeeze it together and go down first like this. But if I feel like they need more, then I'm just gonna, you know, thumb down the lateral side towards the quad. All the way to the knee. And then I'm gonna go on the side of the hamstring. There we go. All the way down to the knee. Then I'm gonna go over here. You might want to come this way.
Oh.
And I'm gonna do the anterior tibialis, starting with the knee, and I'm gonna do pressure. I'm gonna do some pressure points in there. All the way down to the ankle. And I'm just gonna squeeze the calf muscle. Come here and do just a few little compressions on the foot, stretching it out, and then I'm done. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna straighten it out, give it a little stretch, and usually what happens is now the leg is a little longer, so I gotta push the bolster back under the heel, which that's what you want to lengthen.
So that's like a 10-minute thing, right?
Not really.
Like 5, 7 minutes.
5 minutes, 7 minutes, yeah. And like I said, you know, it all depends on how tight they are, and if you're gonna start this way, then you're gonna use more time because they're gonna tell you, well, I got more stuff going on with my legs and my hips.
That's why I like compression, because it's kind of like my survey
Yeah,
of how much time
Mhm.
I'm gonna spend places.
yeah. So, and you know, this whole massage is full of compressions.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like to also do the squeezies around the ankle because it really gets tight right here. And just do some compressions on the calf. Compression on the foot. And then there's that.